Jim, how are you today?
Hey, Richie, it's a great day.
Thanks a
November
lot for
1.
thanks a lot for joining us today. How was your weekend?
It was good. Good, Richie. It was Halloween, right?
Yeah,
All fun with
Halloween, trick or
family and
treat. Yeah, trick or treat.
ghouls and goblins. Yeah, it was a good weekend. How about you?
I had a great weekend. I rested. I went somewhere. I relaxed. I'm doing all right.
Good deal. Headed
Doing
into a
great.
new month.
A new month, man. New month, new day.
Yep,
Last month is history. Now is a new month. Let's
that's
let's
right.
get this going. So, Jim, I want to introduce you. One of the things is when we started Shop Smart, even way back, with the cable show and all that, you were a big part of it. Then you went somewhere. Now you came back to us in a different position, uh, which is social media marketing. I really believe we reach out to you and you reach out to us. I really believe that you found a great niche. I got tremendous amount of results from your company. Uh, you're doing really good. So we put you on ShopSmart now. So you have your email there and all that. But let me tell you, Jim, you're killing the bear, man. You're doing a great job for us. And we look forward to everything. So let me put on a clip here. Jim, that's great. Our content people at ShopSmart been working with you together, and you're doing great on social media. We got the contents people, but they're not good at the social media, so it makes a perfect marriage. It's great. So tell me anything you want to know.
First class production, no doubt. That's a shout out to the content folks. Uh, that is a absolutely very effective um, spot. And one of the reasons that I think it's so effective is because it is directly related to the consumer, very consumer focused. What happens with those people to get so happy? Well, it's because they got their car at Shop Smart Autos, and we'll talk about some of that later, I think. But consumer focus. I know one of the things, Richie, one of the reasons why I wanted to be associated with you, and you and I have been on the same page, is because of this consumer focus, being consumer first, putting them first in what we do. And I know that since the beginning, you've always been consumer focused. And you mentioned a while ago the cable show. Wasn't that the reason for that cable show?
Yes, let me give you a little bit of a clip about that, and we'll talk
Hello,
about it.
everyone. I'm Jill Nicolini, co-host on Shop Smart Autos, inviting you to join me and your host, Richie Bello, this Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. on Cable Channel 1. Each Sunday morning, we dive into what you need to know before you purchase or service a new or used vehicle. Richie has over 3 decades of consumer knowledge and addresses every driver's wants and needs. Our guests and dealer spotlights will dig deep into subjects such as new features, pre-owned, depreciation, reputation, financing, service, warranty, expectations, and of course, much, much more. It's all sponsored by ShopSmartAutos.com, where the major automotive search sites and dealer networks share their inventory so you can choose the make, model, and options you're looking for at any time that you're ready to shop. It's where active buyers shop every day before they walk into a dealer location. Shop smart for your vehicle with ShopSmartAutos.com, and see you Sunday morning.
So, Jim, that's Jill Nicolini. Well, we'll be going back on the air in 5 different markets. In February, we're starting already the video content because I've been here in New York. So I started some video content and figured in my head. So then I'm going to come back. I'm leaving to Florida by next week, but I'll be back here for the holidays. So throughout the holidays is when we're going to build our show again. We were 11 months on cable. Every Sunday we had a clip. I mean, the show was an hour 45-minute show. So we're doing that in 5 different markets in the country. We're going to rotate it with the same episodes all over different parts of the country. So this year we'll go to 5 markets. Next year we're going to go to the other 5 markets, different 5 markets. We're just going to rotate it nationally, the cable show. So yeah.
What's the focus of it?
Focus is about educating the consumer. Okay, where to go to get the information for the online. And one of the most important thing is pay attention to the dealer. And Jim, I mean, reality is the consumer really is the most important thing to us, not the dealer. I mean, the dealer is not at all. We're not concerned about the dealer because we have the consumer. So you don't want to buy our leads or whatever. That's okay, no problem. Your consumer is right online filling out a form. You don't want to buy a lead. That's okay, and it doesn't really matter. But we're educating the consumer, what to do when they walk into your dealership. As trainers that we are about the automotive sector, we're also trainers of that, and as far as the feed and all this, they have a lot of communication. But, the DA is okay with that because we're a consumer-based business. We're educating the consumer, and who doesn't want to educate the automotive consumer?
Sure.
Who's always going to win, the dealer or the consumer? When in the courts when you go to court or whatever, the dealer always loses, the consumer always wins. So we decided to make the education part for the consumer, because the consumer is what's most important. And Jim, and the last few weeks, I've gotten 4 or 5 dealerships that have called me, and I don't want to disclose who they are, in this local area and outside of this area. Could you remove 1 car from your feed? Oh, why is that?
Wow.
Wait. Why is that? Oh, because that price I can't really sell. The pricing of used cars are so high. I said, okay. So I'm seeing price gouging.
So what you're saying is here in the middle of this pandemic, car dealers are having issues with their inventory. Used cars, it's costing a little bit more for them to acquire them. So consumers are paying for that.
Yeah, and they're when they call you to remove a car or something, I'm not going to remove a car.
Right.
So you got to call the DA.
Right.
I'm not removing a car for him.
Right.
So he can rip off a consumer. I'm not interested. Okay, that's his problem. Okay, I'm really not interested. I'm interested in the consumer, period. Okay, dealers don't understand. It's not going away. ShopSmart's only going to get whatever, and we're not going away. It's just going to be consumer. My partners from other companies, right, are doing this just to educate the consumer. Okay, right. Because it's data where we are. And sometimes, sometimes it's about money, but sometimes it's more about making a difference and helping that consumer out to buy a car, because consumers today don't have what they had, and they're trying to get a vehicle and they're knocking their heads off.
Right.
Really worse than the 80s there was, when people were hitting. So you know what, guys? No, we're not going away, and we're just going to keep educating the consumers. And it's very easy for me to do an online training thing for free. It's very easy for me to do it for no charge, complimentary, because I have other partners that want this, that have the resources. So it's about the consumer. We're not Cars Guru. We're not Auto Trader. We're none of these people that it's about the dealer. Okay. Right. We're about the consumer. Okay. That's what we're about. And we're driving consumer traffic. Matter of fact, when you go on there and fill out a form, you get it right in your email and on your text. Thank you so much for the lead. And 2 or 3 hours later, you get another email saying this dealer is not with us, or this dealer is with us. Go visit him. And when we say which this dealer is not with us, we're just, go ahead. Call him. Do me a favor, call him. But before you call him, check his reviews.
Okay? So that's the education part of it. Know who you're dealing with.
Right. So that's the education. It's very easy for us to send that thing to a link to a video training them. When you walk into the dealership, this is what you do.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And right now we're getting our feeds are going to have the days of their car. A lot of these dealers have old inventory, and and they're, I mean, crazy numbers. Crazy.
Right. Right.
So it's all about educating the consumer. That's what it's all about. Nothing else matters.
Well, and the thing is, I don't understand in the industry why, from a dealership level, they don't understand that most consumers can see through somebody saying they're consumer first.
Right.
Every dealer says they are, but it's really easy to see if they really are.
Correct.
And you can see through that, and we'll talk here in a little bit. I want to mention why some of the things that we're doing at ShopSmart is not just good for the dealer to do business with us, but it's really good for the consumer to use ShopSmart to shop because of the experience that they have. But being consumer focused in the middle of a supply and demand issue shouldn't be hard if you're really consumer focused. It's because it won't always be there. We won't always be in a supply and demand. People that say that we will be, they're crazy. The other thing is somebody asked me the other day, said, well, won't consumers just wait to get a car until, the chip situation's over and there's more inventory out there? Well, the thing is that people that say that don't understand that some consumers, sure, they're just shopping because they want a new car. Some have to get something. Their car broke down. Somebody else is a driver now in the family, so they need another vehicle. So they have to go to the dealership. And if they're being taken advantage of because of supply and demand, I sure as hell hope that consumer remembers that down the road and remembers that dealer for that. And I think they will. So I think it's important to educate the consumer and to understand that there are good dealers out there that will take care of you. And Richie, how do they find today who those good dealers are?
Well, they have Dealer Rater, they have all these things out there, But Jim, one of the things for you to really digest a minute, and you're a really good numbers guy and a really good analytical guy. But because I see your reports are very, very good. One of the things I want you to pay attention to is this big data, right? Okay. Now that big data is out there. So we already know that dealers at an all-time low, their service retention. Now I want you to think about this. Dealers went in 7 months at all-time low service retention. I've got a few dealerships in Georgia. There's a used car dealership that I don't want to mention right now. Okay. He tells the customer on the SMS, we follow up the customer and we have all this data. You know what's going on? Hey, Mr. Customer, we got 10 people in line to buy this car. Customers don't forget how you treat them when they were in need. That doesn't mean you're not supposed to make money. It's not about making money. It's how you're doing it to make money. That's the thing. It's not what you say to people. It's how you say it. Well, the same thing goes in business. It's not about how. Everybody should make money, but it's how you're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Consumers don't forget that. And what's happening is there's a lot of newcomers in the car business every year, every month, every day. They're not trained. They just know that there's a product. Here's the product, and supply is in demand. Let me go and make as much as I can, and not thinking about the retention because they can't help it. Dealers are never thinking about tomorrow. And because they've been doing this for over 100 years plus like this, right? 20 years, it's been 25 years, they've been building this retention. Well, guess what? Now they think like this is not going away. You know what? This COVID's going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Things are already in a much better situation. And not because of the COVID data that's online. I got family members in the teaching industry, right? And they're all teachers, so they give me the data, right? And I'm looking at it. It's only going to be a matter of time before it's gone. That's all that's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. Well, what happens, dealer, when that matter of time comes and an 08 or 09 comes and sits on your lap and you have no service retention? Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Because Houdini can't help you.
Right.
What's going to happen to you if an 08 or 09 comes knocking at your door? Where do you make your money?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you know, Mr. Dealer, that you are hurting right now with your retention. So think about what you could be doing to your customers. Think about your sales team. You got a problem. It's not making money. It's let's make as much as we can, but let's do the right thing by the consumer, because the consumer does understand. The consumer does understand, without a doubt. They understand that for me to service you, I have to be profitable. Everybody understands that. But I don't have to rip you off.
Sure. Right.
That's why when we started with ShopSmart, because dealers are so used to scamming everybody that when you start calling a dealer and telling them you got leads, they don't believe you. They think that it's just another scam because they're always scamming everybody. So, I mean, do you blame them? They always have that mentality.
Oh, yeah.
They're always trying to see how they can take that consumer out. So when you call a dealer and tell them a truthful thing, they're never going to believe you. Ever. Trainers too, they're never going to believe because they're so used to bullshitting everybody and scamming people that that's what it is.
Right. Well, and
there's a difference. If you're trying to do something to stay alive and earn, the big difference, right? It's that they're doing it just for the hell of it. They're doing it just like, okay, I got this, it's just really bad what's happening out there. But you know what? That's the car business. That's the name of the game. But the consumers are in ShopSmart, and it's a consumer-based business. Deal, I don't really care. You buy a lead from me. Who cares? I got the audience. I got the consumers going in there every day. And if you're not on it, I just tell them, call you.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And when they call you, you don't know what you're doing anyway to make an appointment because we have our own modules on how to make appointments and stuff. So they're going to call you. It's just going to be like a waste of time. Okay. So that's fine, and we decided to do that to help the dealer out. The dealer right now, we feel that needs more help than the consumer.
That's you're exactly right. There's no doubt about it. And the thing about the consumer is that they do have a memory, and they do know if they've been treated right or not. And I think when you talk about what the data is showing about the what's going on in the market with the service retention and that kind of thing, that's what it's showing.
Right.
The dealers are remembering and they're not coming back, and the consumers are remembering and they're not coming back. And it's it puts that dealer in a situation. The problem is that they don't learn either from the past mistakes or what's amazing to me. I think in business, one of the best things that I've ever done is to try to find people that were doing well and then try to find ways to emulate what they're doing in my business. And there's good dealers out there today that are, they have really jumped up and said, hey, I'm going to chase that consumer and their satisfaction. I'm going to do what I need to do. If they're enamored with Amazon and how Amazon does business, then I'm going to try to incorporate as much of that in my business as I can. And man, they're doing well.
Yeah.
But you know what most of the dealers do? They say, that guy's an idiot. Why is he an idiot? Well, because that's hard work.
Right.
And that's real consumer focus. And then what happens is they just keep knocking the cover off the ball. And this guy down here pointing his finger is the one we're talking about right now. The guy that his service retention's fallen. He's gouging customers because he's found a way to make a little money here until it gets back to doing it the way it was before. And then he'll be back to bitching and whining at the manufacturer again because he's not getting enough inventory and everybody's upside down and, back to the same old game that he does. And in his mind, he has nothing to do with.
Right.
He didn't put any of that situation in. But we one of the things that I love about ShopSmart is some of the benefits that it provides to the dealer, but indirectly, it's not indirect, it directly affects that consumer as well, and how their shopping experience goes. And dealers, if you'll just listen, if that consumer shopping experience goes well, guess what they do? They pay, and they come back, and they pay again. And I don't know of a person that's a consumer in my life that if they're satisfied with doing business with somebody, that they expect them to give them something.
Watch, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to answer you that.
Okay.
Watch. Now, Jim, going back to what you just said, right? These dealers don't understand that philosophy. Okay. And let me tell you something. Go back to the 90s. Swiss watches, top notch. Seiko came out to the world. The 90s, 89, 90. It was called the number 5. They ate up the market share like you have no idea in the 90s. Okay? Why did that happen? Because the Swiss were already a brand and they didn't care. Came somebody else new into the market and took them right out. Well, this is happening in this business. You know who's getting it? Carvana. Dealers, you should be worried about Carvana because right now Carvana's got places for private sellers. By the way, Carvana is an Arizona corporation. They started in Arizona, Mexican. Okay, right down the street from the Institute. Very well-known people in Arizona where the Institute is. Okay, we've been watching them for quite some time. Okay, there's relationships there from other partners that we have in Arizona that give us information. Let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you, dealer, what's going to happen. They keep eating up your lunch every day, in and out. They're a minority company. They're getting a lot of stuff from everywhere. They're going to eat your lunch every day in and day out. Keep doing what you're doing. They have a program now that if you're unhappy with the car, you can return it. They don't care because they're a consumer-based business. Dealer, You're not a consumer-based business. You're a what's in it for me business, WIFM. Guess what? You should be worried about Carvana, okay? Because Carvana's got a division of data science people, an entire division looking at your inventory. Same thing I have with inventory. They have it too. They have all your inventory. They're looking at it. And that's how they're doing ads and marketing your consumers.
Absolutely.
And dealers have a lot of money, but they won't do that. That's how it is. That's how they're targeting your consumers to come to their site, and then with that buyback guaranteed.
Right. And easy, convenient.
They're responsible for a lot of used car dealers going out. Okay. And you know what? It's not about the new cars no more, because the prices of new cars are so high that you see the registrations are dropping on new cars. And the registrations are up on pre-owned. And the more technology a new car needs, the higher the prices. Right. So they're pricing themselves way out of the market right now. Because people don't realize, people know they don't need so much technology in a car, because it's even difficult for them to understand it.
Right. And it gets down to affordability too, right?
Right. So that's the problem. So when you buy a used car, you're saving $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 late model. Okay. Well, yeah, be careful with Carvana and those dealers that have subprime too. Carvana's got a whole division.
Right.
That makes the buy here, pay here community look like it's like nothing what they have going on.
They got money. They've sure got people believing them. And you know, it's not stupid money. I've heard dealers say that to try to make themselves feel better. But I you know, as Carvana's come, what we keep seeing as the dealers say, well, it's not going to work, and here's all the reasons why. And you know, the main reason why is because they don't do it like we've always done it.
Right.
That's the reason why. And we're seeing more and more trucks in the neighborhoods. Well, what are those trucks? Well, they're delivering cars to people's houses. They're not driving them out there with a dealer trade driver. They're putting them on the back of a truck, and they're not putting miles on them. And they're taking them out, and people's experience, that customer experience in their mind, it doesn't really matter what the dealer thinks about what the customer's experience should be.
Right.
It's what the customer thinks. And so, you know, one of the things that I wanted to mention was that spot that was just played about Joe and the BDC. And what ShopSmart can provide for Joe. Joe gets a lead from the lead provider he has now. And the biggest problem that Joe has is getting a hold of that consumer. And Joe can't understand why, when he gets that lead that the guy just sent in an hour ago, why he can't get that guy to ever answer the phone or respond to him. Well, let's think about this. That guy puts in an inquiry to a lead provider. What does the lead provider do? Send it to just one dealer? No. Multiple dealers. And then what do?
Right.
Everybody starts calling the guy. So now he sits in an inquiry, and next thing you know, his phone's getting blown up. So what is the first thing he does? He quits answering the phone. But what's also happened to his experience? It's getting sour. He doesn't like this. This is the way in his mind, this is, this is the way it is to buy a car. You got to go through all this. So when ShopSmart says that we provide an exclusive lead, that means you're a dealer, you're the only one going to get it. And it's VIN specific, so it's tied to a vehicle. What does that do to the consumer experience? Well, that means he doesn't get all these calls.
I'm going to tell you something. There's a new company that a lot of people don't know. That's called Get with two ETs, a car. Israeli company.
GETT, a car?
Yeah. Yep. So let me tell you this, right? So you understand, so everybody here is in the same place. GETTA car, CAR. Let me tell you something. Israeli company, one of our partners has that account, and we sell a different product there. Nothing to do with what we do here at ShopSmart. But they got 10 or 12 pre-owned dealerships, and they're a little small Carvana. And they're pumping in cars and registrations a lot. Okay, they do this Get a car. It's like Carvana locally. They're out of a Pennsylvania area.
Wow.
Okay, they're having a field day with these dealers. Their registration is way up. They're having a field day, guys. There's more and more companies on your case. You're gonna see your CPO drop. You're gonna see your used car business drop. Another one that has that buyback now.
And what?
And he's in his local market. He's in this local market. You know what? Carvana is not that big, right? But they'll get here. But now he's in this tri-state area,
right?
Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York.
But what are they doing that they're getting all this business? What are they doing?
Well, they're doing digital marketing. They're doing digital retail. You know,
right.
There's a whole thing with digital, right? Everybody thinks it's SEO and all that. Listen, guys, there's no such thing as SEO. I mean, if you're gonna do SEO, I mean, good luck. You know, there's one thing. It's called paid search.
Right.
That's it. Paid search. That's why it's called paid search, because paid search converts, and that's all these companies are doing. Israel-based company, a lot of money.
Right.
Ton of money there.
Are they doing anything different as far as the process with the
They're doing digital retail, and they're doing, I think, that buyback, and they're doing different things that dealers are not.
Yeah.
That's all. Listen, all it is now dealers have more competitive, and they have competition, okay, with people that are not just in the dealer sector.
Right.
People that come from another type of business. You know, when you come from another type of business, your customers are first. Because without the customers, you have nothing.
Right.
Dealers, the thing is with dealers, there's 1.2 million new customers every month in the market. So they don't care if they hammer you, they have enough coming. But when you have different companies that you only have so many customers,
right,
forever, you have to have a different mindset.
Right.
Dealers don't care because there's so many subprime people. There's so many new car people. There's so many they don't care. The marketplace is so big that it doesn't matter. You literally have to be trained on how not to do business for you to fail. Right. If you're a dealer, you literally have to be trained on how not to do business. Listen to me. On how not to do business for you to fail, because it's such a big marketplace.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. And dealers are walking around like, whatever, in this market, like, who cares?
Right.
I mean, you know how bad you gotta be for you not to do business?
Right.
You can hire a training company that trains you on how not to do business, and you should succeed in this marketplace.
You gotta really want to fail to fail.
I mean, I want you to think about something, Jim. A customer goes in to your dealership. They're there and they look at the showroom and they see their car. They see their car in their mind. They're thinking about going away on vacation to see Aunt Sally for a couple of days. They want to show Aunt Sally, watch, how successful they are that they were able to get a new car. That's what you got in the showroom, okay? Now let's talk about something else. Customer comes in and wants a wedding. They see nothing in there. All they're going to see is a dream. Painting a picture as a dream, nothing, zero. They're going to give us money and they're going to do a wedding, $25,000, And the wedding, all they're going to get the day of the wedding is a hangover and a stomachache. And they know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want you to think about,
paid for one of them.
I mean, what these guys are talking about selling a car like it's a really hard thing. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Selling a car and making an appointment is really a hard thing. Are you guys out of your mind? Try selling time sharing. Okay? Try selling time sharing. Try
Right.
doing that.
Right.
And you think you're a superstar salesman, try doing that. Okay? Leave the car business, go sell time sharing and make $350,000 a year. Okay? There's a lot of products out there that is really, really selling, not being an order taker. That's the problem in the car business. We've become from a selling platform into order taking, like the leads. They want to fill out the form and delete it. The customer just to come in with $100 here in his teeth and just buy the car.
Yeah.
They think that's an order.
Yeah. Well, and you're right, because in this marketplace today, what it takes to be good in sales, because people have so much, they can get a hold of so much information, is you got to be an expert, or at least they've got to feel you are, and you got to have empathy. You have to really be able to care about that customer, and that's not something the car dealer's really good at. And,
right. And let me tell you this, Jim. Let me tell you, dealers, listen to this guy, Jim. He's really good, but also listen to something. If you don't want to listen to anything ever again, listen to something. You have competitors, okay, that are doing the right thing by customers. Carvana, Get a Car, and I can mention 5 more that are selling cars the right way and retaining their people. A family member buys a car from somebody, like these people, they're referring 10 of them because there's no pain.
Right. Right.
Customers don't like to
great
be,
point.
Mr. Dealer, when you got to go to an oral surgeon, do you like to go there? Or do you like to go better a chiropractor that's nice and easy and befriends you and he's your best friend and he does everything for you, right? Well, you're at the oral surgeon, dealers. But the problem is with that was okay years ago because there was nobody else into it.
Right.
The problem with that is you got other people selling your used cars, and dealers, when you're looking at your used cars depreciating, we're seeing the age going up, the depreciation going up. It's only because they're pumping in vehicles in your market, these digital retailer people that hire professional digital retail people.
Right.
That don't hire SEO people, hire people that only you got to sell. You really got to sell, but that costs money, right? Sure. So dealers don't want to spend the money. They don't want to take the risk because they've been scamming people their whole lives. That's the problem.
Right.
So, and that's good. I'm glad that we're in the position we are in because the dealers are doing that.
Well, one of the things
that with this price gouging, there's got to be a problem here.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and I think one of the reasons why that we're getting traction since we've been working together on the social media marketing is that our focus is it's on the consumer. It's on what they can expect with some of the great content. Social media marketing is all about content and consistency, and the content that appeals and the consistency and that you're always going to be there. And we're doing that with a real focus on the consumer, even with our content that's going out to the dealer. It points out the reasons why that the experience that consumer is going to have is going to be great. And so I think that shows that, we're trying to help that dealer drive buyers, but we're also trying to help them keep the consumer. And we're going to do that. And I think that the folks that are listening, you can see Richie is committed to staying, educating the consumer, staying focused on the consumer. Always been that way and always will be. And I think that's huge. That's huge.
All right, Jim, listen, I got to cut you short. I totally got to go on a call. Thanks a lot, buddy. And I'll see you soon. All right.
Have a great day.